Hello, Introduction to Database and SQL. In this session, we are going to discuss transaction management using JDBC. Let's understand. So, transaction management involves handling of group of SQL statement as a single unit of work. A transaction, in turn, is a group of several SQL statements, and all these statements are considered as a single unit of work. So that's why in SQL we have a separate commands called as TCL commands, transaction control language commands, which involve commit, rollback, and save point. So commit is a command, rollback is a command, and save point is a command actually, which are used in transaction management directly within SQL or MySQL. So in order to do the same thing using JDBC, so we require those methods corresponding to commit, rollback, so save point, etc. And they're all available in the connection interface. So we say con.commit, con.rollback. In fact, we can actually use the save point as well. So firstly, understand what is transaction management. Transaction management involves handling group of SQL statement as a single unit of work. So when handling the transaction, you have to ensure that these series of operations are either fully done or none of them are done. A transaction involves a sequence of steps, a sequence of operations. Either all of them have to be done, then that is considered successful. Otherwise, none of them have to be done. So if all of them have successfully completed, then we say commit. If some of them have failed, then we will actually roll back. So this is how the transaction management will work. And we have seen already while discussing the TCL commands. Now let's see how we are going to do this with JDBC from Java program. So in order to do that, we need to make use of the commit and rollback methods of connection interface and con.commit and con.rollback, like that we have to use. And we need to set the auto commit equal to false. By default, auto commit is true. All our uh, all our queries which we actually make using any RDBMS, so they are auto committed. So we have to do transaction management means we have to firstly make sure the auto commit is set to false. So for that we have a method set auto commit to false. So again, this method is there in the connection. So con dot set auto commit to false. Actually, by default it is true. Then we have to define the operations as part of the transaction, and we have to add all those operations to a batch. That's a better way. So it also covers now batch processing. So batch processing means taking the SQL queries and making them as a batch, execute them at once. That is called batch processing. So now in a single transaction, we have sequence of operations. Those operations will add to a batch, and later we will execute the batch. Okay, so this batch we will actually use with the statement interface. So statement.st.add batch and statement.execute batch. Okay, so now all these operations of the transaction are going to get executed. As an example, and for this setup, what I did is I'm going to deal a transaction called transfer. Okay, so I have a table called account. I have account number, account balance, and account type. Now I would like to transfer amount from one account to the other account. In order to make this transfer transaction successful, I require two operations. One is withdrawal from an account and deposit to another account. Then only transfer is completed, right? This transaction transfer has two sub operations, right? One is you have to withdraw from one account and then you have to deposit to the other account. When both are successful, then only we have to commit it. If any of these operations is not successful, then we have to roll back. That means the transfer transaction is undone, right? So now we have to ensure that both are either fully done or both are not done. Roll back. If fully done, it is commit. If not done, then it is a rollback actually. Now I have an account table and this is the data actually. So I am going to do a transfer from one account to the other account. So this is about transaction management theoretically. Let's now see this with a JDBC example. So for that, let's actually go to my NetBeans, and here the NetBeans. So I have the program just written. So now let me show you this MySQL DB as well. So self start from account. So this is my DB contents. So I have 5 accounts and I have account balance. So what we do is here we can actually see 444 and 333 having more amount. So what we do is we deposit some amount and we will add to uh, the account where there is a less balance. Okay, or something like that. So that's the idea. So now let's see. So coming to the program, I have JDBC API available as part of java.sql, and the scanner also got imported so that I can actually read some data from the user. Okay, scanner object is created here, and these are the basic steps to establish a connection. So the connection has been established. Now, what is the first step we need to do is we have to make set auto commit false. By default, commit is true. So con dot set auto commit to false actually, so that we can now do transaction management, commit and rollback. So what I want to do, I want to do a transfer from one account to the other account. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm asking the user to enter the source account from which I can withdraw the amount, and I'm asking the destination account to which I will deposit the amount. Okay, and how much amount to be transferred. So these 3 things I am taking. From one account to other account, there should be a transfer. So from the first account, I need to withdraw, and to the second account, I need to deposit. So this is a transaction. It involves 2 operations, right? So once I have this data, now what I'm doing in order to have the atomic transfer, what I'm doing, I'm creating a statement object, statement st equal to con.create create statement. I'm using a simple statement. Now I am writing a query, withdraw query and deposit query. I require 2 queries, right? So withdraw query, update account, set account balance equal to account balance minus whatever the amount I asked, right? So this amount actually I'm adding. See, this is a string. So this string account balance minus I'm adding this amount value which I have taken, where the account number equal to again the source. So I'm making a query actually here. So first I'm withdrawing the amount from the account balance from the source account, right? And this query I'm adding to batch statement dot add batch. So this is for batch processing. So you can add as many queries as possible to a batch, and you can actually execute them at once. Now my deposit query is like this: update account, set account balance equal to account balance plus amount, whatever the amount that we are withdrawing from there, and where account number equal to destination. Okay, so I'm adding this much amount to my destination account. So these 2 queries should get executed properly, then only it is commit. So now this query also I'm adding to batch. This is for batch processing, right? So later what I do, I will execute the batch. So how do we execute the batch? So this is the statement actually. Statement dot execute batch. So all the statements, all the queries in the batch are going to get executed now. If there are 10 queries, so now you will get for each statement, right? You will get 1 result. If it is insert, then you will get how many records insert. If it update, how many records updated, like that. So that's why the output of the execute batch is going to be an array. It's going to give us an integer array actually. 2 records updated, 2 records inserted, 1 record deleted. Like that, we are getting some number, right? That is an integer. So statement.execute batch, all queries will get executed and returns an array. Returns an array. Okay, so first update statement. So how many records updated? This update statement, how many records updated? So that information will be there. So if it is updated, at least it will tell 1 record updated or 2 records updated. Inserted, again it will tell how many records updated. It is deleted, how many records deleted. So always the value will be greater than 0, right? If it is 0, then something has gone wrong actually. So that I will come to. So I have an array. Now, how to determine whether the transaction is completed or not? So for that, this is the logic. So we'll have one flag which is equal to false actually. Okay, so now I'm going to this particular result. I equal to 0, I less than result dot length. We're starting from 0 because it's an array. Array starts from 0, right? So index starts from 0. I less than array dot length I plus plus. Every time I'm checking if result equal to 0, any value in this array is 0 means that operation is failed. That query is failed. So then what I'm doing, if any result value is 0, I'm making my flag equal to true. So that means failed. That means failed and need to roll back. Because at least one operation is failed. So we have to stop it. All operations must be done, then only commit, otherwise it is rolled back, right? So what I'm doing, I'm going through this particular result array. I'm checking any value in the result array is 0. If it is 0, then flag is going to be true and break. So don't need to compare. So at least one operation is failed, so we need to roll back, right? So I am using break so that we will come out of the for loop. And here I'm checking if the flag equal to true, the flag value is true, that means it is failed, can't dot roll back. So you have to abort the transaction. Okay, and we say transaction rolled back. Else, that means the flag is never true. That means everything is actually greater than 0. That means what? Everything greater than 0 in the result, every operation we have written is actually success. So then what we are saying, can't dot commit, transaction committed. Fine. So this is the logic actually to check commit and rollback. Okay. So finally, now what I'm doing, I am actually showing the details. So I am saying result rs equal to statement.execute query, select star from the account. Now I am going to see the updated data. So this is how we do transaction management. Okay, the first thing is, so let's create the scenario. I have created the scenario for transfer and set AutoCommit equal to false. Then all the queries you add to the batch and execute the batch. Next batch will give you an array. Now check any transaction got failed, any operation got failed by checking that with 0. Then it is true, then roll back. If not, then commit it. And let's see the data. Okay, so now let me actually run this. Yeah. So now you can actually see connection established. Okay, so connection is established. And then it is asking enter source account from which you want to withdraw. So for that, what we do is, see here, what we do. Yeah, so there is a triple ones. This is my source account, which has 25,000, 35,000, right? We'll actually withdraw 5,000 and we will give it to triple three. We'll give it to triple three. Okay. So triple one is my source account and we will withdraw 5,000 and we'll give it to triple three. So triple three should become 45,000. Okay. So enter source account triple one, enter destination account triple three, enter amount to be transferred 5,000. Okay. And now what happens? See, 11th from triple one, I'm taking 5,000 and adding to triple three, right? So now triple one, earlier 35,000 was there. You can actually see here. Earlier 35,000 was there. Now that 5,000 has been taken and added to triple three. Triple three earlier 40,000. Now it has become, earlier it is 40,000. It has become 45,000. Okay, now transaction was successful because uh, I could able to deduct or withdraw 5,000 and able to add to this. There is no problem actually. So that's why commit. So transaction committed, and these are the details actually. Okay, so when the transaction will fail, when we have to roll back the transaction, let's now see actually. So before that, let's understand the instance here. The latest instance is like this. So triple T 45,000 and triple one 30,000 was there, and we have triple four equal to 40,000. So now what I do? Okay, so I'm again doing for the commit only. So from triple three, I will actually take 10,000. I will add to triple four. Triple four is having 40,000 already, and I will actually add 10,000 to that. Transfer 10,000. Now you can actually see triple four has become 50,000 and triple three has become 35 because 10,000 has been withdrawn. So again, transaction is committed. When the transaction will fail, when we have to roll back, let's see. Now understand the instance here as well. Now this is the latest instance. So we have triple four highest, that is 50,000. And now what I do, I will actually make a scenario for rollback. And I'm taking my triple four account, which is having the amount 50,000, right? So now I want to add to an account that doesn't exist. I want to add to an account 123 that doesn't exist. How much amount I want to add? Let's say 25,000 I want to add. 25,000 I want to deduct from this 50,000 of triple four. I want to deposit to 123. 123 exists? No. So when you write this query, update account set account balance equal to account balance plus amount, where account number equal to destination account. When the account number is not there, so it will fail, right? It will fail. So now let's see. Now what happened? Transaction rolled back. Your triple four still have 50,000 only. It was not deducted because it got rolled back. See, one transaction failed here, flag becomes true and roll back, and transaction rolled back. Okay, that's the scenario. So if you want to see one more scenario, yeah, I can actually tell you that. So enter source accounts. I'm saying 123. 123 source account was not there. And I'm saying triple one is the destination account. So I want to add 10,000. So will it be committed? No. It's actually rolled back because you don't have 123 account number. So this is the transaction management. This is how you need to do. So what you need to understand here is first set AutoCommit equal to false, and then have the scenario, and then better use batch because you have multiple operations for a transaction as a single unit of work. Every query you make it as a add batch, and finally execute the batch, and then check for commit and rollback. If any operation failed, then it will become 0, then rollback, otherwise commit it. Okay, so this is about transaction management using JDBC. Hope you have understood. See you with the next session. Thank you.